Welcome back to SNHU Esports live from the Connection IT Arena. My name is Shane, joined here with Connor for some League of Legends tonight, the return as we get started off with the fall 2023 semester. Pretty exciting.
I know. I am just filled with excitement here tonight. It's our first time back in a really long time, too. So I know you've kept up the casting and everything with some side projects and, fighting games and stuff like that.
A little bit.
I am definitely a little bit rusty here
That's
tonight,
okay.
But we're doing league, so we're probably fine.
And we're about to get right into it, too, as we head into our draft. So we can take a look at some of these upcoming picks. SNHU Blue firing off that Ivern ban to start off.
It's a pretty valid ban here, going fresh into this season, because Ivern, has been touched a couple times throughout the last few patches.
Yeah.
And he recently got that on-hit Daisy buff that's just really, really going to be rampant here for Ivern. And he went from the lowest to one of the highest played junglers there. But we see the Briar and Xerath ban. Going to see a lot of target bans here, just scoping out their team. So Xerath is going to be one of those bans. Looking at our mid laner, Paul. Suki, name drop. Oh.
Yeah.
Glorious Killer.
Real name
Toxic.
drop.
Real name drop, my bad. But then we're going to see a couple other bans here. Karma, Echo. Karma's a pretty solid ban for support. You can put her top, mid, just really trying to take the tempo of the game up a little notch, because Karma usually kind of slows that down, puts it into a team fight kind of oriented game. But we see that Echo too as well. Renekton is a little bit of an odd duck for the bans here. Renekton might be another target specific there. And a Swain hover,
I like the first pick Swain coming out for SNHU Blue. That seems to be something that's really going to sort of define their composition going forward here. I will say I have missed watching Collegiate League of Legends so much, just because the bans and the picks are not always what you would expect when you watch things like LCS. You'll see a lot of they ban characters that are really good and really strong, and that happens here too, but they're also going for some targeted bans in particular towards certain players. And Silas J4 coming out from J&W, that is a very, very aggressive first and second pick there for J&W.
Like I said, they're really trying to pick up the pace of this game here. We can see with those first two picks, and honestly, Swain can be that kind of flex pick that you want in the first slot there, but that Silas pick to go with it is just really, really annoying to deal with, because Silas with that Swain ult is, really, really hard to deal. It's hard to deal with Swain as it is. But picking Silas that early is also a little bit weird, because you're not going to see the rest of the ults you're going to get. So SNHU really has a big opportunity here to try to outplay that first.
They can pick a lot of characters that aren't necessarily reliant on their ultimate here, but I will say Ezreal, that's not not a terrible thing for Silas. They'll just fire off a quick little shot there if SNHU decide to pick that, which I kind of hope they do. I want to see some really sort of finesse in their play a little bit here in the bot lane. Looks like they are going to lock in Ezreal a little bit safe, a lot of sort of ability to kite, things like that, but also potential to make some big plays if he needs to.
Yeah, and Ezreal, always transitioning into that mid-late game, has a really big role in team fights for playing that kind of poke that they still might want to play, putting Toxic on a caster or a control mage maybe. So they have that opportunity, but then as well, they have the Graves and the Swain, so they have that really brawl kind of comp going on as well if they want to. And coming into the second ban phase, we're going to see the Jace band and the Caitlyn band out there. Two interesting picks, actually, because
take out the Jace now, and you don't have to worry about that potentially being in the mix for your Silas, because you can't steal his ultimate.
Right,
might as well just ban out the characters that don't have ultimates outright, since those might be things that SNHU are looking for here, going a little bit further.
Yeah, they could ban any of the Animorphs or Gnar, or just take them all out. Nautilus, not a bad ban there, coming out from Johnson Wales. And SNHU is going to take out that Varus as well. I think Varus I'm not sure. It might be a target ban. Ezreal might not be that favored into that matchup either, but I definitely know that with the Caitlyn ban, they don't want them to have that prio that Caitlyn provides in the bot lane as well, because with the way that Johnson and Wales is drafting, it's looking like they're really trying to play aggro here into an early game more. Ooh, and the Twitch is not really that, but definitely has the ability to stomp a lane if he can.
If he gets ahead early, he's going to go into the hyper carry. But it's a little curious, I think, specifically against the Ezreal, who is really able to just run away from you if he needs to. He's able to completely get away from you, and Rakan is going to give SNHU a little bit more durability there.
And also, it's going to be one of those ways to kind of just lock down Twitch during a team fight, because Ezreal can sometimes get away from a Twitch ultimate, but most of the time Twitch just has the range to just keep him in the range anyways. So Twitch is going to be probably one of the problems that SNHU has to deal with here. Johnson Wales might look to put a lot of resources into that character and make Twitch their kind of win con. But Rakan and Aatrox are just two really good picks to just kind of go in on that Twitch that they might want to protect there. And it doesn't, they got Thresh to peel, but...
And particularly against JW's team composition, I really like Rakan and Aatrox as maybe a little bit more of bruisers, take a little bit more damage, be able to sort of stay alive in that team fight, because Sylas and Jarvan and Thresh, they're going to lock you down. You got to be able to lifesteal, you got to be able to heal yourself back up, and a Darius could potentially apply some bleed there to just make them a little bit less resilient.
Yeah, the Darius is definitely going to be an answer to that Aatrox, as well as people who might want to try to daringly walk past him, because I don't think you're really going to get that far past the Darius Jarvan. But the Rakan definitely is going to try to, run in with that charm, W onto that Twitch, or could play Peel, could play a little bit more supportive than that. But I feel like playing that way into this composition is really who gets the jump, because Johnson and Wales getting the jump in these team fights with their semi kind of engaged comp there is going to be very, very deadly.
And they're so sticky in their composition.
Yeah,
once they get on you, it's going to be really hard to actually be able to break away from them, and that is really what they're looking for. They want to sort of dictate the pace. If SNHU, like you said, if they get the engage on JW, suddenly things change a lot, because you don't want to be sticky when you're trying to run away. You know, it's that's a good way to end up giving some kills over towards the other team. But I really like both of these team compositions. J&W, I think, is going to be really fun to watch, because if they get the ball rolling, that's going to be a force. That's what I'm excited to see. I want to see J&W pick up a little bit of pace. At the same time, SNHU, I think, are naturally a little bit more on the defense here with their team composition.
Yeah, they definitely have that potential to go into the late game and really just become a problem with the Graves Ezreal. And as the game goes on later, Swain gets pretty hard to kill too. So, I mean, you're really going to have to play it pretty carefully with those three characters on the board there. Aatrox as well, also just pretty decent pick in the top lane there for a first pick. Picking blind there. But definitely both of these teams, it could really go either way here. I'm rooting for SNHU reaching to that late game point. Watching Johnson and Wales team, though, will be very fun.
Absolutely. If you know League, you know that we have to go ahead and throw to a break as we wait for our spectator delay to go ahead and get caught up in the name of integrity. So we'll be back in just a few minutes as we're going to go into our very first game of the season, SNHU Blue versus J&W University. And don't forget, we are also live on our B stream, twitch.tv/SNHU Esports B, where SNHU White are fighting Trent Excalibur. Be sure to check that out as well. But we'll be back in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to SNHU Esports as we're about ready to get into our very first league game of the season. If you missed the draft, they've got some pretty exciting team compositions coming up here, both from SNHU and versus Jonathan and Wales, both of which seem to be, Jonathan was very much leaning into that kind of aggressive play style. SNHU playing a little bit slower, pumping the brakes a little bit, trying to keep them away from them,
Right.
to say.
And I feel like with these kind of drafts, we normally see that them being red side, they're going to pick that kind of early game. They have that last counter pick and everything, but they're not going to have the prio of first pick and other important meta picks that you want to pick in the beginning.
Let's go ahead and hop into game as we get started off here. It's been so long since we've seen this here at the arena. I'm very, very happy to have this right back, and already it looks like J&W playing very aggressive, really looking to try and catch someone out here if they decide to step just a little bit out of position.
This isn't a 5-point. What's gonna?
I don't know. It's weird. They're topside completely open, but as he's playing very forward. In general, in the early game here, really, what are we looking at as standout early game picks?
So standout early game picks we can see are obviously we have that Darius in the top lane there. The Jarvan is going to kind of fall off, like in terms of damage, but when it comes to unkillable likeness, I guess Jarvan is the guy for that.
He's setting up kills early game, and he's taking a lot of damage late game.
Right, and we're going to see a really aggressive lane coming out from both this top laner and mid. It looks like a ghost has already been popped by this Darius here. He's going to get that 5 stack. Ooh. The bleed is going to go through there, and that is not going to be enough to kill. It looks like he's just going to bleed out to 1 maybe. Yeah, I know
just
my Darius
barely is able to stay alive, but that is going to buy J&W a ton of top lane presence.
Mm-hmm. I knew that didn't bleed out.
In the bot lane here, though, J&W establishing a little bit of lane priority early on, and it's not going to be too hard for them if they really want to try and push this lane. Something happened in mid, and suddenly the Sylas is looking very, very low. We were talking a little bit about this Sylas pick being a little bit contentious. It's very early, but we could see a gank coming down here.
A nice little setup there. The W going a little bit wide. The flash comes out from Dello, and a first blood coming out for Proma there. Very nice cash going to be secured right into Proma's pocket there. SNHU taking the lead.
That's straight out of the playbook. Simple and clean on that one. Just run down, get that kill for your ADC, start to get that ball rolling. And for Proma, he is absolutely happy about that because stopping the Twitch early is good, but going in, the Sylas is going to go and pick up the kill onto Toxic. We'll end up trading that out, but we'll see them both go back to the fountain as they head back.
How did those change it? What?
That was very, very far away.
Yeah, I don't even think their mid laner knew that this change would hit there. But the ignite came out from both of them, just rewind time there, and I think he just barely dodged his vision there. Jarvan gonna sneak this out here, but Dragon Tempest already on the way top there. Suki has an excellent bait set up here, gonna be able to just stop him just in time to pick up a kill there. Yeah, beautiful kill secured there, and partly due to the junglers just walking past each other, not even seeing each other in that in the river there. But
this is our first time getting a glimpse at some of the new additions to SNHU's roster, of which include Dragon Tempest and Liham, which both of which, I mean, bot lane's going great, and Dragon Tempest has had 2 successful ganks in just 4 minutes. So already SNHU's composition is looking pretty strong this year.
Yeah, Dragon Tempest seems to have a pretty good idea of when to just kind of stop, power farming stuff, especially as Graves. Like, I know I just want to permanently power farm as Graves, and, walking past those things, being like, I know when my clear is done and how much time I have in between the spawn timers, and being able to pick up those ganks on the side is really just a sign of mastery, I feel like.
Absolutely, and that is, jungle is so important in League of Legends. It's maybe your biggest playmaker on the team. They really facilitate a lot of play, just kind of getting the ball rolling in a lot of instances. But we'll see J&W get the ball rolling on this Drake as it descends into the pit. SNHU have a good idea that's going on, but not a lot they can really do to stop it.
Yeah, they don't really. I think they have a general idea that they could be on this right now. Bot lane has that prio too as well. That's going to make it hard for them to rotate there. But trade coming out in mid lane, and that's kind of the name of the game. I feel like for this mid, top, and bot.
Yeah.
For J and W, just kind of going to be really hard to actually contest them there. It looks like, the lantern coming out. What is happening here?
This is aggressive. They're going in on Dragon Tempest now, completely just a blind face check here.
It's a bait. Oh, Dragon Tempest going to take that one in. They're just going to back up, I guess. They have the rotation from the Sylas there, poke coming out, just kind of dissuading them from walking further into their jungle, I guess. That was really weird.
A great disengage from JW there. Not really a big win, and they went in there on not a lot of information either. They really just jumped over that wall and were hoping that he was doing his Krugs then and there. But we'll see J and W now putting a little bit more pressure on the mid lane, starting to build that up. The fact that they did get first Drake is really, really nice for them, especially being down 2 kills this early. Getting that Drake establishes just that little bit more of objective control, and it's going to pay out in the long run.
Right, and with these lanes that have that kind of prio early in the game, you really got to pick up those Drakes, so you're not really doing it right. Because you have that prio for a reason. You pick those early game champions, and if you're not using it to get at least a little bit of an early lead or secure some kind of objectives, like you said, objective control, then it's not going to turn out that well for you. It looks like a nice fight coming up from Suki there. Yeah, pop off.
All right, Suki obviously feeling very comfortable. 2-0 in the top lane is, almost a death sentence for that top lane. So it's going to be really hard for JW's Darius to sort of find a lot of value early on. Once he becomes a little bit tankier, then he'll be able to sort of contribute a little bit more to team fights. But Suki has such a big advantage right now that it's going to be pretty difficult for ASDF to really find too much up there.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking there, because Darius, like I said, was the first early game champ I list off there because he's innately just the early game champ,
right? So yeah,
Darius is gonna find it pretty difficult, I feel like, to get back into the game here.
This could be scary. He's not level 6. J4 is not level 6, so not going to be able to completely secure the kill, but hey, if Delo wants to come on up here and just threaten a little bit, he is going to be able to push Toxic back. They're going to end up showing J4 on the map. They'll see him going up towards top side. They know that he is nowhere near the bot side. They can play a little bit more aggressive now.
Yeah, and this Sylas into the Swain here usually is pretty favorable here for Sylas, but it looks like some sneaky business coming out from Loliday here. Just going to get that ward into that third bush there. See if I think it's mostly preventing lane ganks there, but you could also catch Rakan hiding in there as well. Or people trying to walk through.
Yeah, both junglers are near the top side of the map right now. I got a little bit of info, forced JW's J4 to back up a little bit. As Dragon Tempest up here just sitting in the bush. He's ready to jump on if ASDF does anything, but he shouldn't.
No, this is not good for ASDF. The lane is pushing towards him. He's losing trades with Suki also holding that wave. I feel like Suki's just going to thin it a little bit here and either catch a freeze or set up this gank here for Dragon Tempest, who's being very patient. Suki finding the opportunity is going to be able to secure that kill for both the jungler and the top laner.
I'm glad Dragon Tempest was just he was just happy to be there.
Yeah, he just got the participation paycheck there.
And now this Rift Herald is just being handed over to SNHU. Thank you J4. This is great at the moment. This objective is huge for SNHU, and if J&W were able to get this again, that objective control would have been awesome. If they were able to continuously secure objectives pretty much on cooldown of those bosses, that would be huge. But unfortunately, forced off, SNHU are going to get that Rift Herald. They're going to be able to push down one of these lanes, and suddenly, the gold difference might not be huge.
Whoa.
Suki, whoa. Calm down, man.
Going deep. Okay, so they have a pretty big choice to make here. They could either pop this Rift Herald in one of these two lanes, so they're kind of mostly even at this point, or they could just, throw it top and have an unkillable Aatrox in the sideline for the rest of the game.
It's SNHU are definitely happy to make either choice though, and we're gonna see ASDF already. Suki hopping right back in on him. Once those bleed stacks, stack up. Even though ASDF is behind,
Whoa.
Suki still has to be a little bit afraid
He changed
here.
his mind?
Okay, he's going right back in. This could be a huge turn, and Suki's not able to take it. A big shutdown from ASDF is gonna get him a little bit more farm up here. Take maybe a turret plate off of that, and start to get some gold going back his way.
I wonder why he changed his mind. Like after the 4 lead stacks.
It's like, I'll go right back in.
I'll just go in. I don't care if he gets 5. And then he ulted for 500 true damage. It's rewind time. I told you. He's going to go right back in there. That's exactly what Silas does. The W with the heal, the ignite, cutting his healing a little bit, but is he going to have another W in time?
Ooh, he's so low right now. And again, I feel like every time we look at mid lane, both of the laners are almost dead.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes with this mid lane. They're both those drain tank kind of mages where they just heal back up a lot. Delo is going to have to flash out of there. The ignite coming up is going to leave both of them just so low, and that is the perfect opportunity to pop that Rift Herald here and maybe drop it down to at least 1 plate here. They might be able to just get the tower flat out.
Yeah, Delo's staying for quite a while. I mean, especially with players like Toxic being so low around the turret, you really can't afford to take that fight under the turret. They're just going to let the Rift Herald fizzle out there. Just get a little bit extra damage.
Yeah, I completely forgot how much Rift Herald does to the tower. And especially first Rift Herald does not do that much damage to the tower.
Still, I mean, that is going to add up in the long run here, as that turret in mid is very low now compared to the rest of the turrets in the game. Although SNHU are doing a pretty solid job of just consistently wearing down J&W's first layer of towers.
Yeah, and that tower's looking pretty weak. There could be a potential weakness here in J&W's kind of infrastructure for their early game. SNHU might be able to play around this a little bit more. We saw what happened in the top lane. That plays a little bit less optimal now, but Rewind Time is going to be able to take these trades here still with Toxic. Like I said, that Silas matchup, right? The Silas always is usually, or not always, usually is going to come out on top in that matchup there. But Holiday, the nice reaction, the flash coming out, the Ghost going to bring him to safety there. And he just barely gets out of an engage there. And Suki just taking back his crown here is going to be able to take down the ASDF.
I'll say that was a very, very good save there in the bot lane. And now with 3 strong down there, they're going to force SNHU to start to back off. Neither of them spent flash, which is really, really important here. But J&W, the fact that they are, they're stemming the bleeding a little bit, they're stopping themselves from losing even more is big. But Rewind Time can potentially find something here. Yeah, we'll be able to snatch that ultimate. Suki, Dragon Tempest is here on deck, ready, but he's not able to get to the bush in time, and Dragon Tempest now to try and take this 1v1. He's going to decide to back off there. Rewind Time 2 levels above him, just a little bit too close for comfort. Yeah, you never want to take those duels that are made, kind of 50-50s. Right. You want to be pretty sure that you're going to get the kill.
Right, and with that Iron Spike whip there and the Phage, it's not going to be exactly a Graves power spike there, especially with Graves having those ranged autos. But that might be the one time we're going to see in this game where Silas is going to take an ultimate that isn't Swain's and actually get value out of it. Ooh, Rewind Time just going in, not even seeing Dragon Tempest there, is going to be able to get that lantern out. The stun comes out on Toxic. He's just 1 health ignite, going to burn him down there. Rewind Time going back in. He has his W. I think he's on a minion. Okay. He is going to fall. Dragon Tempest.
He finds 2.
No way.
That was crazy. Unfortunately, Toxic had to go down for that to happen, but Dragon Tempest holding his own right there, taking 2 down and getting away with it. That's so important for SNHU. Once one of your players, especially if you're in a lead like this, if one of your players gets picked off, you have to hit back twice as hard if you want to keep the lead that you had before.
Yeah, that was just an insane play gone wrong 2 times in a row. I feel like just back and forth between J&W and SNHU. I think Rewind Time might have used W on a minion there. But it happened. ASDF. Just going to get deleted there by Suki.
Can you get 20 gold for that?
I think that's a minion. But
okay.
Maybe like around 128. I don't know. But he is 5-2 now, and I think Darius didn't get a reset that long ago. Ooh.
This is unfortunate. This is unfortunate. Suki is not able to get away. That's going to be kill going over to J4, his first kill. Get him just a little bit of pocket change to buff himself up here. Dello in a very rough situation.
Ooh, that cancel.
Is not going to be able to get away with the flay. He's going to end up getting taken down there by Proma, who finds his second kill of the game, starting to build up a bounty. One time around the area, just going to back off, and we'll see J&W start to pivot up towards top, maybe try and get this Rift Herald.
Right. Well, Scalesy using the information he got to the max there, going to be able to try to take that Rift Herald while he sees Graves spot there, but at the same time, we're going to see that Dragon come up, and this could be the second Dragon for SNHU if they rotate this bot lane after crashing that wave. Looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. And now they have that wave crash. Twitch has to catch that. Jungler's in the top lane there with the Rift Herald. He might. I wouldn't pop it in the mid right now, but he's walking through, rotating over to Dragon here. They could very easily get collapsed on here after they take
one health.
Yeah,
they are able to get it. It is worth noting that SNHU did pick up first turret in the middle of that. So JW, you're not going to be able to claim it with their Rift Herald here. Rewind time, not quite able to get away. It's barely getting grazed by that. That mid tower is looking juicy right now. It is so low in health. And we'll see J&W starting to rotate up here. They do not want SNHU to be able to just death ball up in this mid lane, start to take down this turret, start to find value. They will find some equal value as ASDF split pushes up in the top lane, takes down that turret, but SNHU will fire right back.
Right. Yeah, ASDF is going to be able to make use of, being the top laner or the tower hitter. He got the tower, right? But as well as that tower fell, SNHU was able to get that mid tower, getting, I think, a reset off, and then, forcing 3 people. They couldn't really contest 5 there. They used that teleport. And I don't, ASDF doesn't have teleport. They don't have a teleport on their team, so
yeah,
they already naturally have 2 teleport advantages, so. Ooh, Dello.
Ooh. Dragon Tempest could be in trouble here. He is able to get just a little bit away, but ASDF yanks him right back in. Suki's going to have to try and peel for him hard. He's going to start going on the back line. He's going to go for Lolliday. Gets pulled away with the flay. ASDF trying to get that shutdown. He will be able to cash out on it.
He needs a reset.
Full health underneath the turret. He needs to be able to pick up this kill, and he can't get out of the Cataclysm here. Hiskalzi trying to take him out, but the rest of Suki's team is going to show up to back him up, and now we'll see Suki start to slowly get his health back as Proma on a rampage finds another skill. Hiskalzi just barely getting whittled down, and that's going to be 2 for Proma.
Fancy feet from Proma there with that ultimate is going to be able to dance around that tower and pick up that kill. Dello did manage to get out there just out of sight of Suki, and I feel like they probably could have just turned on that fight a little bit earlier than they did. That damage from Suki was just crazy. I'm now seeing the Dusk Blade and the Last Whisper there. That explains just, 1 Q taking away half of Lolliday's health, but
that's likely going to be a tier 2 turret up here. Dello will be around to just do a little bit of damage in the meantime, but he's definitely going to try and get away as soon as possible. Rewind time going to get that bot lane turret, pick up that objective bounty. Dello, not long for this world, will end up going down there to Suki, who has just found his 6th kill this game.
Yeah. And that is, one strong Aatrox here. ASDF is going to get a little bit too nosy there and provoke the bear. Liam is going to get that W off. A huge heal from 3 people. And a big double knock up there. No ultimate. It's not going to be very committal yet, but it looks like Lolliday is going to throw out that ultimate there. A nice Q from Suki is going to take another one out. A double knock up from Scalzi again.
Oh, no.
That ult comes out, locking him in here. The teleport coming out. It's not soon enough. Toxic is going to be fighting 2 here as Suki falls. Toxic trying to get away for his life here. Does not really have ultimate or any survivability, and rewind time is going to finish up that kill.
And J&W are back in the game. They just found a ton of value off that, taking down pretty much the entire team there. They're going to get a ton of just time to play on the map without worrying about SNHU at all. Dragon Tempest near the bot side of the map. He can't do much right now. This is J&W's time to try and stabilize, establish priority. Dragon's up in 1:30, so the more priority they can get, the better. They start to shove these lanes in and really force SNHU to try and clear out some of these waves.
Yeah, and I think J&W might have found their way back into the game there, but SNHU definitely isn't knocked off their toes here. The Rift Herald just got spawned there in the mid lane is going to provide a little bit of pressure. There is something that they're going to have to deal with. So this is an opportunity for J&W to kind of just do their thing.
Oh, hey,
get
Rift
set
Herald.
up. Yeah, there he is.
Just charging all the way from base, but we'll find a really nice hook there. Going to yank Dragon Tempest in. J&W looking super strong in the onset of this team fight here. Liam right in the middle of everything. We'll be able to apply that crucial shield to Dragon Tempest, keeping him alive. Promo showing up to take down J&W. Silas putting him on cooldown. This Rift Herald not going to last too much longer as Johnson and Wales try and flee the scene, but Laladay is going to end up going down. Just 3 left remaining. It's very important that SNHU were able to immediately hit back very hard and force J&W to just back off a little bit. Say, hey, you got lucky in that last team fight, okay? We're still here. We're still strong, and you cannot fight us like that.
Yeah, J&W got a little bit cocky there, but it's kind of the confidence that they're going to need going into the rest of this game because they don't really have a lot of leverage for the future of this game. I feel like SNHU is kind of starting to hit the point of the game that they really want to be in, which is this mid to late game transition. And J&W is really starting to fall behind at this point, but picking up those really nice fights like they did before is going to be their way back into the game. And it's really just kind of, a tug of war right now between which team is kind of becoming the more aggressive team, because I feel like they've both overstepped a few times in the past 10 minutes.
SNHU now only 1 dragon kill away from obtaining the Infernal Soul, which will buff up their damage quite a nice little bit. Definitely something the J&W have to be worried about. They're really going on this kind of like tanky composition. They want to be sticky. They want to last on you for a very long time. And with Infernal Dragon Soul, that's just going to make it even harder for them to establish the really strong foothold in these fights that they're looking for. So they need to start contesting these objectives and soon, because SNHU are going to force it, almost immediately as soon as it's up.
Yeah, and that's going to be another one of their win cons here for SNHU is they want to get that Infernal Drake, but it kind of looks like they're playing around the vision for the Baron right now and might be looking to set it up sometime in the near future. As they say, it's 20 minutes, so that Baron, in anyone's game right now, it should be taken, right? Like, I don't know why that's the game state right now, but 20 minutes is usually the time just force Baron or do it. Dragon Tempest is going to leap over that wall, going to take a very, very aggressive pick here. Double ultimate coming out here from Jarvan, immediately going to get deleted by Promo there. Toxic will fall, but Suki just diving into this tower here, going to dodge that flay and get the double Q off. The last 2 Qs here, trying to finish off ASDF, and he will for the ace there. Promo picking that one up is going to be just so liberating here for SNHU as they walk to this Baron and are going to pick it up.
I absolutely love watching Dragon Tempest find these engages. He just finds the smallest little windows to get in and start pressuring the team J&W. They turn. They're like, what is this Graves doing? Kill this guy. Yeah. And the rest of SNHU's team shows up, and they find themselves a really nice fight right there. Liam going to not get executed on his first showing on stream, which is very, very important. But this Baron kill is pretty much going to secure the game state here for SNHU for the next little bit. They are going to be, even more in the driver's seat than they already were. J&W are very much going to be playing tower defense here as they get pushed back into their base. It's going to be important for them to establish some vision here in the jungle while they can, because they, at the moment, have almost no eyes on the board. They have no clue where SNHU are or what they're doing, so they need to be able to pull up their blinds a little bit, look out their front door, see what's happening, because SNHU are going to be trying to make a power play pretty soon.
Right, they have that Baron buff power play, not sponsored by Red Bull.
Not yet.
Unfortunately, would like to be, yep. But they are going to have that power play and really have the freedom of choosing where they want J&W to play here. And J&W are going to have to answer here. And the unfortunate thing is that they don't really have any teleports, so they're mostly going to try to have to guess here. And it looks like they're making pretty good guesswork here. Ooh. Dello and Scalzi going to go in on Liam, not knowing the rest of the team just lollygagging behind here. Rewind time going to pop that Zonius, instantly fall afterwards. Dello sadly is also going to take another Q there and
can't
trapped.
Get away.
Yeah.
This tier 2 turret is going down. J&W 2 people left standing. ASDF currently pushing up towards SNHU's base, but I'd be willing to bet that SNHU will go faster in this base race. It looks like they're going to send Suki back to try and deal with this, but ASDF already on the way out to try and defend on the front line here. An inhibitor down, going to send some big minions down that lane for the next few minutes here. Loladay just barely able to get away, and we're going to see ASDF jumping into the fray. Not going to last too long. Proma finds the kill in the fountain. 10 kills this game, and it looks like SNHU are looking to close this out. J&W have 3 defenders left alive, trying to jump right back into this, but Suki finds another kill, taken down Hiscalzi as soon as he comes right back up. Rewind time trying to get in there. Dello can't do much at this point to stop SNHU from taking game number 1 in 25 minutes.
A crazy game from these 2 teams here, and SNHU I feel like just executed that so well there, taking advantage of all their leads that they got and picking the right times to fight there as well. A lot of mind games going on too as well, like with Dragon Tempest baiting and everything and setting up those ganks in the top lane for Suki. So
I think for SNHU, name of the game of them was just knowing the game state. They had perfect awareness the entire game of what they should be doing and when. There were a few missteps here and there in certain team fights, just little micro things, but their macro play that game was very, very nice. They had a pretty good idea of exactly what needed to happen, where and when to keep them in the lead, and there was never a point where J&W got anything for free, which is so important.
Yeah.
Just to be able to say like, hey, yeah, we'll mess up here and there. We'll make mistakes. You'll find these little victories. We can find them too.
Right.
And we can find them while we're already in the lead, which is way better than finding them when you're behind.
Yeah, they always made sure to trade something of value or equal or more value when they were looking for those plays. And I feel like part of that, though, is a little bit scary because J&W did not go down without a fight this game.
That's true.
Right. It was pretty close up until the end there. So I'm excited to see the rest of the games in the set between these 2 teams.
Absolutely. It is a best of 3 set. So SNHU already up 1, could potentially take it next set, or J&W could fire back and take this to game number 3. We'll find out our draft for the next game after this break. Stay here. We'll be back in a few minutes. Hello and welcome back to SNHU Esports as we get ready to go into our second draft of the night. SNHU Blue versus Johnson and Wales. My name is Shane. I'm joined here with Connor. We just had a great first game. Let's go ahead and hop in the draft.
I'm so excited to get back into these two teams just going head to head. And now Johnson and Wales has the first pick here. They can pick whatever they want. Both of their bands are going to come out here. Did we see an Echo band last time? I think we did, didn't we?
Did we see which band?
Echo.
Yeah, the Echo band. Yeah. Definitely target at its rewind time.
Yeah, definitely. But then we're going to see the Ezreal band. They did not like that very much. That's going to be taken away from them. The Renekton ban also might just be a target ban against Suki there in the top lane.
Hey, run it back. We liked your Swain first pick. I think I will take it.
That's interesting. They're going to pick that Swain first there. And what better way than to just first pick Sylas?
Yep, I think Sylas J4 is what we're looking for here from SNHU Blue. J4, okay. All right, come on.
Come on, you know you want to lock it in.
Lock in the J4, and then we lock in the Sylas, and then we just play each other's compositions, and we see who can do it better.
That would be the biggest power play ever.
We're going to play your composition and win.
Yeah. They should totally do that right now. Johnson and Wales, if you don't pick the same exact composition as us last game,
it's over. It's over. Unless... Then we switch over to
Sylas?
Sylas. No, it's over. The dream is dead. So SNHU are going to have to try and win with their own original team composition.
I mean, okay, we're not going to see the power play, but they can still take this away pretty solid. They're 1-0 right now, so SNHU definitely has the upper hand here as far as the set goes. But that Nautilus being locked in there, Ashe, I feel like is pretty good right now, until the mythics get removed. But she's building stuff like Kraken Trinity Force, which is like a little bit weird for ADCs, but it definitely works out on her. And that Nautilus is gonna try to do work in the bot lane and kind of just she's pretty immobile. So walking up for that hook is gonna be pretty. A very decent option there for him, but Lee Sin getting locked in is another power play coming out from J&W. I like that. Yeah, I wonder what we're going to see from this Lee Sin this game, because always a flashy character on the screen is what I like to see, and that is Lee Sin.
Picking him is a commitment to playing flashy, because if you don't do the flashy things, you're just a tank that goes in, right? Like there's 4 other characters in the game that do that probably better than Lee Sin, but Lee Sin has just got that little bit of panache.
Yeah, and the flashiness is what pays off, because you know how to wait that Q cooldown and in sec and get back to your team and stuff. But that Xerath pick is going to get picked out here for SNHU this time. They are going to get their hands on that caster for Toxic there, and I feel like that's going to be a really nice mid lane setup for them there.
I like the moment that SNHU band came out, I heard someone upstairs go, "Come on, dude!" It's so funny. But hey, it's sometimes you gotta take certain characters out. Sometimes you're just like, I'm not looking to play against that today. We'll see the Jace band come out again, not targeted for the Sylas. That's the thing. Last time we suspected they picked Sylas. All right, we'll ban Jace because he doesn't have an ultimate. But no, it's just targeting the Jace.
It could just be one of Suki's picks, maybe.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I would not be surprised either. But we're gonna see that Nyla ban, and that's mostly, I feel like, because Ashe is pretty bad into Nyla, but also Nyla is really good right now in this patch. And that Aatrox, they did not really like seeing that much of last game either. I would not either if I was Johnson and Wales. So
get that out of here.
Yeah, they're gonna take that. They're gonna take that right out of here. And SNHU gonna have this first pick in the second phase here. They could go for a lot of things here. Rakan is a pretty solid option again for them, having that engage, disengage as well, and kind of like extra protection for Ashe. I feel like Zillion. Ooh,
okay. I like that.
Interesting.
I like that, especially when you have Like, I feel like a Zillion can really back up Jarvan
Yeah.
and when he goes in and just keep him alive just a little bit longer. I really like that, because SNHU really need to keep their front line alive for a long time, because Ashe and Xerath are going to be keeping their distance. They're going to be poking you down from quite far away, and we'll see J and W pick up the Caitlyn just to get a little bit of range themselves. Caitlyn Nautilus is, pretty standard bot lane stuff.
Yeah, and that Zillion is also going to provide a lot of protection there for the Ashe against engage such as Malphite or Lisa and our Nautilus there. So past level 6, Ashe is going to be pretty safe there. But pre-level 6, Nautilus Caitlyn definitely has the upper hand in this lane. Ashe and Zillion are going to have to play poke most of the time and just kind of like counter engage there.
I want to see maybe just a little bit more damage come out from SNHU, and with maybe looking at Fiora, maybe looking at Gangplank. Gangplank's going to be some decent team fight damage right there.
Right. Yeah, and also, I mean, Gangplank isn't that versatile, but he can kind of be played like a split pusher.
Yeah.
He can definitely walk down a lane and set off like 3 barrels, melt a turret with his fire proc. So he can kind of be tanky, but I feel like one of the bigger things is you are picking an 80 champion into Malphite, but towards the end of the game, Gangplank has like 80% shred on his barrels.
Yeah.
So that Malphite is not going to be feeling any armor.
That's really important for late game, because Malphite around the late game, he is almost unkillable.
Yeah.
And Gangplank's going to be able to just crit Malphite and his whole team with barrels, and also use his ultimate just to slow people down, stop them from really moving around too much, which for SNHU is perfect, because Ashe is going to be doing the exact same thing. Yeah. You're going to be slowed from Ashe, and the cannonballs are hitting you. You can't move. J4 jumps on you. He cataclysms you. Just to add insult into injury, it could take you 5 seconds, and you couldn't walk out of the radius of Cataclysm.
Thinking about it now, they have a pretty good Wombo team there, and it's not really one of those like mainstream ones you see all the time either. It's not like Yasuo Diana or something like that, or just all engage dive compositions. This one has the potential to dive or play poke at the same time. So
the entire time you're slowed, Xerath is just sniping you.
Yeah,
like the whole time.
Yeah, he has those AoEs too as well. The W's gonna come down and stuff.
SNHU's team straight up annoying. Like, it is. This is gonna be like a test of mental fortitude for J&W, because if I saw SNHU's team in draft, I'd be like, oh. Yeah. Okay. All right. I see where this is going.
The Xerath poking you the entire time.
I'm gonna get slowed by one person, and then the whole team is gonna jump on me, and I'm just dead. And their whole team is designed to just kill me.
Yeah. And then you finally get on them, and the Zillion's just boop. Never
he's
mind.
alive
Sorry.
again. Yeah. It's J&W. They're running a pretty standard team composition here. I think that they could take this against SNHU, but they have to play really smart, because SNHU's composition is like so good at catching people who are out of position. If you make a tiny mistake, you're slowed.
And they have the speed boost too as well, and kind of the pretty good engage. The only person that doesn't have non-committal engage there is the Jarvan 4, right?
Yeah.
He has to go in order to do his thing, but everyone else can kind of just do it from afar.
So. Right. Yeah, so I'm excited to see SNHU's team composition here. I feel like I'm gonna roll my eyes seeing some things that SNHU do. But we're gonna take a quick break as we get ready to go into game. We have to wait for our spectator delay to catch up. So we'll be back in just a few minutes with game number 2. SNHU Blue up 1 versus J&W University. Stay right here. We'll be back in a few minutes. Hello and welcome back to SNHU Esports. We're ready to go into our second game of the night, the start of the fall 2023 season. J and W versus SNHU Blue, who are up a game, so they could take this here and now, or J and W could fight back for a game number 3. Let's go ahead and hop in and take a look at how we're starting off here.
These two teams are just really, really unique here, and it looks like we're going to see a pretty early invade here. They're gonna, I mean, they gotta walk in for vision, right? Like, or they're gonna stroll.
They're on a field trip.
Yeah.
I like this.
Ooh, a
nice
root
little...
coming out.
Ooh, yeah.
Q follows through that flash. Liam's gonna have to just back out of that one, and that's gonna be an early summoner spell coming out from SNHU.
We'll see. J and W, they kind of like the early the sort of early little tactics. They didn't do a 5-point last game. They had sort of a more heavy towards the bottom side in terms of their hold here. But I'm really excited to see what this gangplank does. I trust Suki to pull off the gangplank in the best way. I mean, we were talking a little bit before this. The top lane matchup, Malphite versus Gangplank. Malphite's going to do pretty good pretty early, but I want to see the Gangplank when it comes to the late game.
Yeah, Gangplank in this lane can't really damage Malphite that much in the beginning. But Malphite did not take Doran's shield, so that's a little bit interesting. I don't know if he really needs it because of his passive there, the shield passive, but he really isn't going to take that much poke, and Della's going to use his hook there to secure the first couple of minions there. Laladay taking so much damage there from Proma and Liam. It's going to be a nice little pickup of a kill. ASDF falling to Dragon Tempest here. It's going to be first blood already.
All right, and getting that over towards SNHU early on, Dragon Tempest, we saw first showing for Dragon Tempest and Liam, both last game as the new faces here on the SNHU Blue roster, and they both performed great. I am super excited for these two new players on SNHU's team and to see how the team sort of builds up over the semester as these players get more and more acquainted with playing together, but already it seems like they're feeling pretty strong.
Yeah, Laladay is taking a lot of poke from this lane here. Like I said, Proma and Liam are going to have to try to play that poke lane a little bit more into the engage with Caitlyn and Nautilus, because I feel like Caitlyn really kind of outranges Ashe. It's one of the less favorable for Caitlyn because Ashe does have actually increased range of stun coming out there. That's so much damage. Laladay is going to have to like back or something. Just a magical berry spawn in his lane or something. He's not looking too good right now.
Yeah, just get right back out of there. SNHU are going to establish that really early lane domination here in the bot lane as both of them now have to back off. And that's going to be really good for them if they're able to continue and keep up that pressure. Dragons up in only a minute 30. They can get early prio. They can do what J&W did last time and find that very, very early dragon.
Yeah, Scalzi, we're going to see, has this full clear down, is up 12 CS on the Jarvan right now. The Q coming out there, Toxic, just sidestepping it pretty easily there. Is going to be able to dodge it, and it looks like, a Root's coming out there. He has really not enough mana to do anything. Skulls are going to go a little bit wide there with the Q. Again, rewind time, taking so much poke damage from Toxic, and also has no mana. Dello going to try to relieve some pressure here, too. He's going to be able to land that hook.
He still gets away.
He gets away with that flash. No way.
W send 2 up to mid to try and find that pick on a Toxic, but they're just not quite able to get it. And every time they miss one of these gank opportunities, the time is ticking here, right? This is really, really a big point for Lee Sin to try and make plays this early.
Oh my god.
Because, Dello could actually find something here. Toxic, back in away, is ignited, will end up dying there. The trade comes through, though.
I think that's
not even an assist for rewind time.
Yeah, that's a little bit more favorable for SNHU, I feel like, but he does miss that wave. He's going to have to burn that teleport pretty early there. Poke coming out from both of these top laners. Like I said, ASDF, every time Suki wants to go poke him with that Q, is going to use his Q as well, and that shield respawning, I think, out of combat, like if he doesn't take damage for like 8 seconds, he gets that shield back, so pretty annoying.
We'll see SNHU very much pushing very far forward in all of their lanes right now. And we'll see the CS, an important thing to note, this is last game as well. J&W were fairly even in terms of CS for a lot of it, maybe down 10 at certain points of the game when it really mattered before SNHU took a super strong lead. So in terms of CS, no one's getting a freebie here in terms of just getting a free like 100 gold over their opponent laner. Everyone's being pretty competitive here, but we are seeing Proma taking a bit of a lead in the bot lane, which is notable because that did not happen last game. Not to this extent.
Dello trying to secure some CS there. He's just kind of waiting for the Caitlyn to come back into this lane right now. Doesn't really have a lot to do. He could go roam, but then he's in a really weird predicament where SNHU just has the wave so close to the tower, and Caitlyn can't really walk up. And ult coming out there, gonna catch that flash somehow. Suki getting burst down here by a gank from Scalzi.
Really nice.
Yeah, that's gonna be a kill there for ASCF. It's gonna be a little bit harder for Suki in this lane now. Ooh, a nice hook coming out. Liam is gonna have to back off there.
Proma not finding quite all that much damage here going on to Dello. Laladay still pretty healthy. Just mostly trying to peel, trying to get him off of Liam. Now trying to heal up here. Suki already right back up in the top lane. Very important for SDF here to take the early game, but Hiskalzi going to find another pick there on to Toxic, get his first kill for himself. We'll see SNHU start to pivot down towards the dragon.
Suki killed Suki killed ASDF in the top lane.
Yeah.
I saw 2 fire procs go on to the Malphite, and I'm like, that's not how you play that lane. That is how Malphite dies. If you get that true damage off, that is the end of Malphite. And the ult coming out here from Suki as well has his hands and everything. Lolladay's getting slow there. The Q comes out. Double stun,
he is dead.
He is going to die to Proma there. And Dello safely under the tower is not going to die, but that's another kill picked up for SNHU.
Yeah, really, really important for them to pick these up now. A lot of deaths just happened in the last minute and a half. I feel like 4 people have died in the last minute and a half. So kind of a big shift in terms of the game state here. J&W is still pretty close in terms of gold, but we'll see as Scalzi not going to be able to quite make good on this gank. Toxic's been playing very, very safe, and he kind of knows that he has to, right? There's not much he can do if he's pushed too far forward and Scalzi shows up, but he doesn't need to. Xerath can just sit back. He can snipe the wave from his own tower.
Right, yeah. Toxic is just so safe here.
What is he cooking?
Oh, he's cooking.
Wait, is he? He's getting out of there now.
I saw he tried to warthog kick him, but the hop didn't come out, and now watching him go onto these raptors, Dragon Tempest is going to take advantage of this information, just make that smite, that rewind time,
and he's out. Oh,
is going to
pulled
get
in.
that root, a really nice root. Dragon Tempest going to have to flash out. Rewind time with the ghost there is going to be able to chase down him, as well as the flash. Toxic now just running away from him. It
worked out.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want.
That worked out for J&W pretty well. They turned a pretty bad situation into one where they found a kill for themselves. Unfortunately, not able to convert it into too much else, but just that little bump in gold is going to bring them even closer to evening up with SNHU. As we get about to the 9-minute mark, we'll see a lot of J&W veering towards the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, normally in that situation, I would be like, hold on, Delos going to get double stunned here with the hook. I think he might be waiting for Scalzi. He's just going to have to flash out there. A little bit of a weird interaction walking into that pit there, but he is going to be able to get out. But in that other situation, they're normally walking into that jungle with the 200 health jungler.
Yeah.
Is usually the play you want to do. Liam is actually going to fell Lolliday there. A little bit overextended. Dello not having that much health under his belt right now. And the ult coming out from Toxic is just to be able to get him there, but it looks like rewind time was covering that right now.
The Scalzi coming. You're going to miss.
Dodge.
Toxic barely has enough health to get around this corner. Is he going to be able to get away in time? Liam coming with the peel as well as Proma. Toxic's able to back up. Liam here taking damage, the new priority target, but his Scalzi goes down as Proma goes to find one, looking for a second. Won't be able to save Toxic, but will be able to avenge him. Liam staying alive as well.
Wait. Did you see that Zillion play? Liam's Zillion is pretty clean. He walked into those bombs for the stun and got the second one off too. I guess melee Zillion.
Yeah,
I don't know.
If it works, it works. Suki found some pretty nice little presence in lane right there, and he's actually starting to take a pretty sizable lead in CS as well.
Yeah, and I think that most of the lanes are, pretty comfortable for SNHU right now. The Ashe has what she wants right now. The Gangplank is struggling a little bit, but slowly making it back there, and actually is going to go up a little bit of CS on this Malphite right now. Has that Essence Reaver too as well, so the damage is actually going to start kicking in here with his Qs. And mostly around the board, SNHU is looking pretty set.
I'm a big fan of the position that SNHU are in right now. They've got First Dragon as well, and they are likely going to continue to contest these objectives because they definitely, I would say, probably have the advantage in a team fight at the moment. And it's going to be important for them to push that lead as far as they can. But his Scalzi maybe to look to try and upset a little bit up here. Suki's very far back. I think this might be a little bit ambitious, but we'll see. ASDF,
Suki's looking for
he's
that.
baiting.
He's baiting pretty good right now. Ooh.
Just a little exchange there in the bot lane as Liam and Proma getting themselves in a little bit of conflict.
He's right next to
him. Suki gonna have to try and flash out to get away. Won't be able to. His Scalzi able to pick up that kill. ASDF miraculously staying alive, but then we look down at the bot lane here, and SNHU are gonna go ahead and take this first turret Toxic trying to get away.
Oh my God.
He is running him down in the mid lane here. Toxic has to try and escape. His Skullsy is on the way up as well. Unlikely that he'll try and fall him into the turret, but maybe his Skullsy will try and go for something here. He's going to end up hitting Broma instead. Not the target he was looking for.
Oh, he was trying to kick him into Toxic because if he knocks him up, it does.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That would have been a snipe if
That
he
would have
pulled
been
that off.
crazy.
That was definitely like a last-ditch attempt to try and pick up that kill.
Yeah, he got the wrong guy and pressed Q before he realized that thing. But that is definitely one scary thing in the mid lane there. Watching that Swain ghost at you, just run you down the whole lane there is not exactly what you want when you're a artillery caster such as Xerath.
SNHU starting to pivot down towards the dragon, and we saw JW just put up a ward over there, so they're going to get some info that SNHU are trying to clear this out. That's going to be Nautilus backing out, Delo getting out of there, and unlikely that JW do too much to contest this. Most of them are back in base right now. Might as well just give it up to SNHU. Try and find value somewhere else. I think that's the smart play. I think trying to take SNHU in a direct fight where you're pushing into them is very hard right now.
Right, and there's
Skullsy.
a Q coming out there is going to be able to stun him a little bit. Toxic might just fall. That
he gets
he
away.
dodges. No way.
All right.
Fancy
Clean.
feet.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Oh.
And we'll see the ultimate come right back out as he starts to go in on rewind time. Suki trying to get down in time. Did force rewind time. I believe he flashed there. Yes, he did. Delo's going to pick up a kill there on a Toxic, be able to finish him off. Delo ends up falling. Ends up giving a little bit of gold over. Rewind time very, very low. Dragon Tempest flying in. His Skullsy, the last one standing, and he's going to end up going it down. It's a massacre in the mid lane here. It's J&W trying to recoup their losses in the top and bottom lane.
Yeah, and J&W is slowly kind of bleeding out here. We're going to see that damage come out from Gangplank on these towers. Not true damage, but the burn is still very not something to just take lightly there.
Yeah.
Gangplank has a lot of damage on that turret, and Dragon Tempest is going to go out on ASCF under this tower here, is just going to kind of push him off. Kind of, don't touch my tower.
Yeah, SNHU just backing up here. They're playing safe. They're not overextending too much. And we'll see them mostly just try and control the state of the game for the next little bit. No objectives in the foreseeable future. Yeah, SDF trying to go for something here. I'm not quite sure what he's quite aiming for. Maybe he was hoping for a little bit of a better engage there. But SNHU, they're fine. They're backing up. They're backing back to base. They're buying some items. Things are looking good for them right now. They're in pretty comfortable position just to kind of sit back and maintain the status quo for them for a little bit. Just keep things as they are. That's all they want. Don't give up anything yet.
Right, and like we said, like they're pretty comfortable where they are right now. Ooh, that arrow. Just going to give Delo a quick haircut there. And it looks like Suki might be able to catch out rewind time here with these barrels. Just a lot of damage. Toxic coming out with the ultimate. Going to take a couple of skulls, these raptors there while he's at it. And that is going to be a pretty nice looking push there going into this mid turret. They might be even able to pull off a dive here. They have that Dragon Tempest ultimate right now. And Skullsy going to land that Q. Take it. Oh, he's going to fancy feet. No, he's not. Skullsy is going to back out there. Dragon Tempest getting Delo there with that ultimate is going to be the nail in the coffin for J&W. That push is just something to be reckoned with.
It's so intimidating to see SNHU play in this way because this was a big shift for them in the last few minutes, just suddenly being like, hey, J&W, we know we shouldn't be afraid of you, right? If we're in a fight with you, we're just going to walk at you until you die because we are ahead. You know, they've acknowledged that the moment that that became a possibility, they were immediately on it. And that has been a really, really good thing for them in that last fight. J&W, you just have an SNHU walk at them. It's scary. It's intimidating. They got to find a way to try and salvage this. And if SNHU keep grouping up like this, it's not going to be easy to. Not going to be easy to find these little picks that they need, but Dragon Tempest very low. Hiskalzi goes in, kicks him out, and could potentially turn on Hiskalzi. Suki is going to be able to take him down, but two very low players. It could be a double kill. ASDF finds one, can't find the second. Suki running away with his life, can't make it away from Laladay. Toxic trying to just escape, doesn't want to give up another kill. Proma also looking to get out of there. And J&W found a pretty nice little surprise attack there. They ended up losing 2, but found 3. That is more than worth it for them.
Yeah, J&W just finding themselves a little bit of a pick-me-up here. They're still down quite a bit of gold, but they are going to be able to maybe make plays now with a little bit of gold under their belt here. Laladay dodging. He is able to live there. Scary one right there for Laladay, but they're able to get that objective bounty, that Rift Herald, and a couple of kills and shutdown on SNHU. So J&W is actually a little bit better.
Yeah, they're stabilizing. They're stabilizing here, and that's really, really important for them. This is the kind of thing, you know, they're starting to sort of dig in a little bit of a foothold here. This could potentially be what takes them further you know, into maybe like the late 20s, early 30-minute mark here, but they need to continue to find these wins because SNHU are setting up for this next dragon already. That'll put them on soul point, and that is really, really threatening because that removes a lot of agency from J&W. After this dragon, if SNHU get this, J&W will have to contest the next one, or else they just give up soul. SNHU are already starting to back up here. Suki going in down here onto Dello, and ASDF will be able to find one. And we see here Hiskalzi just barely escaping with his life. Suki continuing to just run down ASDF, taking him away. Going to start to back up a little bit. SNHU claim the dragon. The rest of the team shows up. Can Suki stay alive? He will. ASDF goes down. Objective bounty's up for J&W. They're going to go and start to find some bonus gold.
Right, they're going to see that Herald dropped in the mid lane there, just a little bit of damage, and kind of cut their losses there while they can. And SNHU doing an excellent job of taking advantage of J&W's positioning because they wanted to possibly contest that there, but SNHU just said, no, we are just way too much in the lead right now. Laladay is going to have to get out of there. Dello! Gonna land a crazy hook there on Liam, but the ult comes out from Toxic and Dragon Tempest. Gonna fall. Dello there. Scalzi just trying to get out of here. Gonna get a pretty good kick there. Oh my god. The greed. Okay.
Hey, he found something there, but he ended up paying the cost for that as he ends up going down. I think that it's important that he got that kill, right? Because that was potentially a game-ending situation for SNHU if they were able to find 4. They didn't. And now ASDF and Real Time are able to try and fight back. Suki solo will get shut down. Toxic trying to escape from ASDF, but he's just way, way too sticky, and he's going to end up dying. 2 more kills for J&W. Starts to even things up a little bit more, and Proma is going to be able to get away, but still a very, very close call for SNHU. It's a good thing they got out of there when they did.
Right. Trading like that when you're behind for J&W is exactly what you want to do. Picking up those kills and shutdowns is kind of the way you want to play this game right now from behind. But I just like the way that he landed that kick into double knockup. I would have taken that too. That was pretty juicy there.
It's just so cool.
Yeah, they went flying because of you, and it's very cool. But Dello, whoa, he's gonna flash over this wall here. I feel like they don't have enough vision for this.
Yeah, I think they kill him here, right? Unless he backs off a little bit, and SNHU, that's smart. They were cautious to walk in that bush, right? There could have been a whole team right there. SNHU are like, okay, we're just going to sit back. We're not going to give up anything. But Laladay going to get sniped out here by the artillery. Dragon Tempest securing rewind time in that Cataclysm. His goal is going to go in on Suki. Doing some big damage here, but Dragon Tempest starts to show up. He's not going to let Hiskalzi bully Suki like that, and unfortunately Hiskalzi won't last that much longer. Dello and ASDF, very tough duo to kill, but it looks like SNHU are going to be able to move over onto this Baron.
Yeah, so Toxic not only artillery maged Laladay out of the game there, but Proma also landed the arrow. So he could not move. But there's a fight breaking out here. Dello is going to fall to the poke damage there. Toxic trying to chase down ASDF right now. Just push him off of this Baron. He will be able to get him pretty far here. ASDF.
Ooh, that hurt.
Yeah.
Jeez, I didn't realize he was like that. That was hard.
Yeah, that hurt a lot. He's 10-5 right now, and he has that Shadow Flame, a little bit of Pen. It's going to be a lot of damage adding up for Toxic. And J and W are in a pretty rough spot now. SNHU Police lining down Summoner's Rift now with Baron buff.
Yeah.
How is J and W going to respond to it?
This is so tough. All they can really do right now is play tower defense. Baron has put them in a situation where they just have to sit back. They have to stay near their lanes all the time. They have to be ready to respond to any sort of waves coming in. SNHU, they're just going to start to gradually push up passively, and they're going to burn down the waves as well to make it even faster. See J and W start to pivot down here towards their jungle as they try and find a nice little flanking angle here. Toxic steps up a little bit here. Will get sniped. Takes some extra damage there, but SNHU mostly just going to try and find a little bit. ASDF maybe a little out of position, but is doing a great job of splitting the team. Yeah, this could be really bad here, but see the artillery starting to come in. Suki's able to take down Dello. Dragon Dev is right in the thick of things. ASDF's going to go down. That's a double kill there for Suki, and the Resurrection coming through to bring them right back to quadra kill. It's just Laladay left. I think this is pretty much it for this set. Not a lot that you can do at this point in the game. 4 dead, just Caitlyn left. Watch these towers fall.
Ooh. Oh no, the Penta! Laladay is going to be able to get him there. Ooh, pick up 2 kills actually. Going down with a fight here.
Yeah, pad the stats a little bit.
Yeah, that's going to be the end of that. SNHU taking the second game in this set here is going to be victorious against J&W.
Yeah, really awesome performance there from SNHU tonight. J&W, they put up a great fight, but I say SNHU.
Yeah.
They look stronger and stronger every single semester,
Right.
and I think that this semester, really great first showing for them here on stream.
Yeah, that was a excellent game from both of these teams, but SNHU just coming out a little bit, sharper on edge there. It seems like they were on their toes the entire time. And J&W had their moments fighting back, but that last game, SNHU really just took the ball, ran with it, and I don't think they're ever getting it back.
Yeah, SNHU have run away with the ball at this point. But yeah, really great performance from them tonight. That is all for us. Hope you enjoyed our very first showing of League of Legends this semester. There will be more to come every single Wednesday. We'll be right back here with League of Legends, but you should also come back tomorrow, where we'll be back with Overwatch as they make their debut for this semester. And you're going to want to check it out if you have been watching the Overwatch team at all. A lot of roster shakeups there as they go into this next semester. So definitely really exciting for the Overwatch team and just for SNHU Esports in general.
Right.
But yeah, any updates? Yeah. Oh, on Friday, Rocket League as well. We'll, it should be us. I'm pretty sure. We'll see.
I'll be there.
Maybe. We'll be back on Friday with Rocket League as well, which should also be awesome. But that's all for us tonight. If you want to see where you can find any sort of updates, as well as anything going on about events in the arena or just in the space in general, you can check our Twitter at SNHU Esports. We'll be able to find everything there. But again, that's all for us for the night. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you right back here tomorrow with Overwatch.